Rachelle's screams were so loud, the 74-year-old bank robber that was next door on her front porch heard Rachelle screaming for her life. Obviously, you guys are fact finders and truth seekers. You heard her testimony from this witness stand. Is it reasonable to believe that that blood-curdling scream that she heard is coming from Michaela's mother? Your reason and common sense tells you that, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't some accidental conduct by this defendant. He wanted Rachelle to die. What else did this defendant do? In his clothing, the green vest, the gray shirt, washed up the blood. And again, the 12 of you are the fact finders and truth seekers in this case. And I'm not going to put any photos up there on the screen. But look at those stab wounds to Rachelle. Look at the cutting in the clothing of not only Rachelle, but of this defendant. Doesn't it kind of look like that knife that we just had up there, that Swiss Army knife? Doesn't it kind of look like that knife? And where did we find that knife? It wasn't laying there in the middle of the crime scene. We put it in Rachelle's purse, her book bag. If this was some accidental conduct or he didn't mean to do something, why go through all these measures, these methods, to try and hide what it is that happened, to hide the clothing, to wash up the blood, to hide the murder weapon? Why take the time to take the bloody clothing downstairs in the dark? Why? He wanted Rachelle to die on October 11th. Whatever it is that happened, was it something over, I think it was Brian Short, I believe you heard from him on Tuesday morning. He told you, I'm explaining to Rachelle what it is that's going on, what it is that happened, why we couldn't work on the gas lines. And Brian Short, from this witness stand right here, he told you, as I'm explaining this to Rachelle, he's looking right at this defendant right here, giving him the look. And you're right, Mr. Wilder is correct. I'm going to tell you, I don't have to prove what the motive is in this case. The 55 stab wounds is pretty darn personal. Something happened. "55 stab wounds. How do you not mean to do it when you have 55 stab wounds? One stab wound, maybe you could say you didn't mean to do it. Probably not, but again, maybe. But 55 to the head, the chest, the abdomen, the arms, the hands? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. That is not reasonable. It's not reasonable at all. Why give CPR? Why give chest compressions? Again, defendant is keeping up the ruse and trying to get people to believe that he's not the one to do it. Hiding the clothing, washing up the blood, putting the murder weapon back in her purse. Detective Katie Johnson told you when I get there, this woman's obviously dead. The intestines are hanging out of her body. She's pale. He's trying to keep up the ruse that he had nothing to do with this. Defendant told you from his mouth, State's Exhibit 250, you'll have a chance to play it back in the jury room. He told his own daughter, the daughter that him and Rachelle have together. This defendant said, I'm responsible for what happened to her. I'm responsible for what happened to her. What happened to her was 55 stab wounds. And that's what he's responsible for, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank each and every one of you for your time and attention. Mr. Wilder said, I'm going to say some of the same things that he said. I've been paying attention to each and every one of you. As you're seated over there, you've been paying attention, you've been taking notes, you've been listening to the testimony. Thank you for your patience with me through some of my computer issues that I had. 55 times. Each time this defendant stabbed Rachelle, she got closer to her death. As Dr. Updergrove told you through those photographs. Each stab wound brought her closer to death. She got butchered in the home that she was renovating. And I ask that you hold this defendant responsible for killing her. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that State Exhibit
Jurors,
number
I'm going to ask you to
66
return to the jury
State
room.
Exhibit 66 is a stick in there. And I also, if you look at the video of them questioning me down at the police station, if you look at it, they asked me, how did the blood get in the sink? I told them that there was blood on my face after I was doing CPR, and I told them that I went to the sink.
Recess at this time.
Look at State number Exhibit number 66. Ask for it back there and see. There's a stick right there. They won't. There's plenty of things they won't bring to you. Ask for it. Right?
You can get that. Okay, now we're
Right.
Okay, so
I know you're not commenting.
the court is not going to tolerate. Let me get back on from there.
You're not, listen,
All right,
what
we're
you're
going
not
to
going
move
to
to
do
the
is I'm not
defendant to
going to
the
sit
upstairs
here
remote
and
location and
allow
take a
you to.
recess. Thank you.
This is what you did the last time went on. You want to come running down the hall this time? You got something to say?
Okay, it's going to take us about 10 minutes to get situated for the defendant to appear remotely. I do have copies of the final instructions for counsel. We'll share those at this time. And the court will need to read an instruction to the jurors as to why he is not in the room. I'm going to take that straight out of the Ohio Jury Instructions Manual. And once we are ready to go upstairs, we will proceed. But if counsel wants to review that instruction, you're welcome to do so. It's 2 OJI CR 4303, and if there are any discussion you'd like to have about that prior to me giving it, you're welcome to let me know.